What's a video you were really excited to like blast off? Like you sat there, you like, I got this verse, that heat right here.
Yeah. A video viewer?
No, just a video like.
Just a video. Like back then, when people would give you videos or you would work on videos with people, what was the, your top 5, like, oh, this is gonna kill them.
Or you're just happy to drop this.
I knew anything Nas related, well, back then is, like, because I was working with Nas and I was getting it like right away, I was like, I'm killing him right now.
I ain't gonna lie. Yo. And I was saying this when we were talking about this earlier. When I saw that he directed the documentary, I was like, yo, this is crazy how things come full circle, because Video Music Box did a special on Nas. Before I heard a verse from Nas, they did a whole special. All my favorite rappers are sitting in the room like, he's incredible. Crazy
It was all the producers.
cosigns.
It was
Crazy
all producers.
cosigns.
It was Large Professor, Pete Rock, Q-Tip, LES, who's Nas's DJ at the time, and Premier.
I think did you have I'm drawing a blank right now. Drawing a blank. Cool G Rap, was Cool G Rap in that also?
No, he wasn't in it.
But people were comparing him to like Rakim and all that. And you're like, who is this person?
Was Large Professor there?
Yeah, Large was there, yes.
Okay,
Large.
I was gonna say Large had to be there.
It was fire.
Extra P.
That's how I met, that's the first time I ever, if you go online and you look up Large Professor live at the barbecue, the first time you ever saw it, them performing, there was no video for it.
Right.
I taped it at this party. And so you see, this little kid in the back pops up out of the crowd, because Queens was coming with mad people to, it was somewhere in Manhattan. So they came and then boom, Nas pops out and does his verse on Live at the Barbecue. But like Akinele's on that, and Fatal, and Large. And so, it just stood out because he was young. Like it's just, he didn't have his mic game really ready yet.
Right.
But he
was saying some stuff.
But he was he was right.
12, I went to hell for snuffing Jesus. Like, whoa,
and then Chubb Rock's song. It was so many things that he was put in the position for, and I met him through Search because I'd done all of these. We had done all these. Me and my partner Lionel, I can't forget. Lionel Martin was my partner at this time, and he was the vid kid on Video Music Box. And he was directing a lot of the videos that we were doing. And he had done the third base stuff. And Search was like, I got this kid named Nasty Nas that we were trying to get him out. You heard about Nasty Nas? And I'm like, yeah, but I really don't know.
Right.
But I'm curious because Search said it.
Right.
And so I'm like, okay, let me figure out who Nasty Nas is. And so then we started looking and we figured out, okay, this is Nas.
What was the first record you heard?
It had to be something. It had to be Live at the Barbecue.
But I mean, aside from that, the first Nas record.
Probably some freestyle or something on some. Because I was still buying vinyl back then, and so they were, I don't even know if Cormega was out then. Was Cormega out? No, I don't know.
Not yet.
So that's later. So. Or something that Marley played because it was Queensbridge, so Marley had access to those cats, and Marley would play these freestyles that nobody else to this day has.
Right.
And so, and I was like, okay, the raspy voice, you got it. It feels street, it feels hard, and that's my favorite. People ask me what's my favorite era of hip hop because to me that early '90s was real. Like the records sounded like what was actually going on in the street. Like I could listen to it and look outside and it's right there.
Yeah.
It was like the 80s was a little different, the late 80s. Now, then you got into like, the KRS Q-Tip, medallions. Everybody wasn't doing that. That was an idea, but not everybody. There was some that was doing it. I was doing all the X-Clan videos back then. I did every X-Clan video.
Shout out to X-Clan.
With the fucked with X-Clan.
Sissy.
Yeah.
Love that.
And then came Wu-Tang. So like immediately as I'm finishing up all the X-Clan stuff, Wu-Tang comes into play. And I go to Park Hill and in Staten Island, and I'm like, this is different out here.
Yeah.
This is like East New York. You
Right,
know?
right, right.
The whole
people live here?
Right.
Right, yeah.
You know, like be careful.
Yeah.
And, you know, and it was also a extension of what Rakim had done with the 5 Percenters. So now we brought that into, you know, like I'm friends with Kane, well, with Rakim and Kane, and brothers from Jersey City, who, you know, was 5 Percenters, and then here comes Wu-Tang. And so it's all an extension of something that I'm familiar with. So I'm like this, like, okay, this is gonna be good. Because everything that comes out of this is knowledge. You know, this is gonna be good.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, right.
We talking about knowledge because anybody that's building and they dropping jewels on people, it's gonna work.
Right.
As long as it gets enough promotion.
Right.
It's gonna work. And that's what Wu-Tang was to me. And you know, in the beginning, people didn't want to hear Wu-Tang. People uptown was like, I ain't got no time for that, man.
What are you talking about?
Staten
What they
Island
talking
niggas.
about? Right. Right. What they talking about? They got kung fu sounds in the video, in the record.
I'm not gonna front. I didn't want to hear him the first time I saw them rock was at Jones Beach for the Greek Fest.
Greek Fest, yeah.
My man took me out there. I was like 14 years old. Shout out to Earl. Earl took all the young boys out there in this car like, you need to see what this is all about.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I saw Wu-Tang come out and perform right there, right on that stage. And I was like, from there, I checked in for them right after that.
I think Fox used to play Kung Fu movies on Sunday.
Yeah.
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 I love that shit. So when I heard Wu-Tang, I was like, oh, this is great. 2 things I love in one. I know these movies.
Yeah.
Like the little quotes they was taking from like Crying Freeman and all that stuff. I knew all those movies. So I was like, yo, this is dope. This fire. It had a different meaning for me.
What was it like when Protect Your Neck hit the streets? Because living it was different, because I remember going to school and watching girls in my class drawing the Wu-Tang logo.
And all that. First of all, when you pulled up, you was like, there's how many members?
Right. So
Wait a minute.
the story is when RZA comes to me, because RZA's not giving you that type of music prior to Wu-Tang.
Right.
Prince Rakim.
He's Prince Rakim. Oh,
Prince Rakim.
love you, Rakim.
Right. It's Mad Happy.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And so you're like, okay. So then the next time I see him, he's like, yeah, I got something new. So I was like, all right. I'm expecting this Prince Rakim, you know? Right. And so I put it in. It's like, was this the same person rapping? Nah, we got Mad Chambers, son. I'm like, what? And I'm like, what just happened? Well, you know, RZA, I switched it up, right? I switched it up. So I'm like this, like, okay. And so it was a whole different RZA. It was a different part. Well, yeah, it was a different presentation, let's put it that way. And so that was like, okay, it didn't exist like how they were doing it. But once you got into the lyrics, and Wu-Tang was something that I had to listen to over and over again, because there were certain things I missed. I was like, let me listen to that again. What did he just say? And so I had to go back, which I thought was kind of dope that I had to go back and listen to it again, because, you know, I think that I know everything, and I'm like, I don't understand what he's saying right here. So, which was fine, which made it, I don't know, for me, as a consumer of hip hop, right, or of anything.
Right.
If I go to Disney World, I'm like, what? Let's go on that ride again. Let's check that out again. What just happened? You know, I'm just kind of like that. Like, I want to know more about it. You know, I'm curious. And so that's what Wu-Tang was. And I think it was a slow burn in the beginning, because it was like, people were kind of like, okay, what's this? Ralph keep playing, he would play this thing every week. They didn't even have a record deal yet.
Right.
It was just RZA did it, made the song, gave me the video, and they didn't have no deal. It wasn't until like maybe, I don't know, less than a year that Loud Records pops up and says, we're gonna sign Steve Rifkin, who was a radio promoter. Last time I saw him, now he has a record label. And he goes, yo man, you know, I'm trying to sign Wu-Tang. I said, that'd be dope, you know. And next thing I know, I get another version of it and it says Loud Records on it. And so I said, okay, so I guess he signed them.
Dang.
And then immediately that's when RZA comes to me and says, yo, man, I gotta do another video. You wanna do the video? I said, yeah. So he says, I'm gonna send you the song Cream. And I was like, all right. And I put it in, and I was like, what? Cash rules everything around. Get the money.
So that's why you did the Coliseum block.
Right. No, that was Ice Cream.
Oh, Ice Cream, yeah. Ice Cream, I'm bugging.
Right, so I did Cream.
And Ice, yeah,
we did Cream was in.
My bad.
So, you know, I'm a dude that pays attention to the boroughs.
Yeah.
You know, Queens, Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Harlem ain't really feeling Wu-Tang like that. We gotta take, cause all their videos is mostly shot in Staten Island.
Yeah, that's fun. And Brooklyn.
Right, in Brooklyn.
You hit Bargain Bazaar.
Right.
I recognize, I was like, yo, hit Bargain Bazaar right there. That's crazy.
So we gonna, so that cats like that, you are gonna be like, yo, they was in Harlem?
Word, they was in Brooklyn, they was in,
right.
Wow.
So we, you know, Willie Burgers, the little, what? That was, wait a minute, that's uptown.
Right.
I told that to Raekwon years later. He said, oh, you had a plan? I said, yeah. I said, because I felt like when I mentioned Wu-Tang, or, I was somewhere and we playing Wu-Tang or talking about Wu-Tang, cats was like, no, I'm not really feeling it right now. And
it was for us.
And it was for a certain group who still ride with it to this day. And that was it. And then they came with Ice Cream when Purple Tape.
Right.
And it wasn't the Purple Tape yet, but it was gonna be. And and they, can you do Incarcerated Scarface and Ice Cream? That's an A side, B side.
Right.
And so I did Incarcerated Scarface right here on First Avenue on 118th Street in Manhattan.
Wow.
And I did Ice Cream in Queens at the Coliseum because the Coliseum was hot.
block.
Yeah.
That's the block. That's the block.
Yeah.
Right. Sneakers, everything.
Right. They had everything.
Barbershop, the chicks, everything.
Yeah. Queens was popping.
Woo! Tell them, bro.
You go downstairs, everything you needed, the jewelry. Still to this day, they got the jewelry
everything
down there.
Yeah.
What's
Benny's.
Same thing.
Benny's was right down
Benny's
there.
pops off there.
In the same sneaker spot, it's still down there.
Yeah.
Oh man.
It's Hoffa, trapper turned smack rapper. Only smack rapper that you know is smack rappers. Got bars I can hang with the backpackers. Trap star, I don't hang with the backpackers. I'm in the hood with the work you heard. Making fiends leave earth you heard. Got your baby mama thirst you heard. Feel the flow, nigga, throw it in reverse. This the wave you need to surf you heard.